everybody. How is everyone doing tonight? This is JJ and Isabel, and Isabel's got Raymond in her arms. Tonight is Thursday, and we're going to be playing a brand new game as of tonight. So, let me just make sure that I've got everything running. Whoops. There we go. Hello, Private Maverick. How's everything going with you? Alright, there we are. Alright, so we're playing a new game tonight. I just randomly went and looked up a bunch of games that sounded cozy, and one of them was a game called Wytchwood. So we're going to start playing that tonight. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what we're into. I don't know what's going to happen. But we're all going to find out together. Thank you very much for the 11 months resub, MJD82. It's taking its sweet time loading. This is always a good sign. There we go. Press any button. The music is good. You're not Homer Simpson, MJD. You're not Homer Simpson, MJD82. You don't have to worry about the any button. Swamp. Once upon a time, there lived an odd little witch in an odd little house. She spent most of her days tending to her odd little garden and resting in her odd little chair. On this day, however, her sleep is interrupted by an odd little noise. Bah! Who's there? It's a goat. You devil! How dare you wake a young lady from her beauty sleep? Blah. Shoo, shoo! Get out of my house, you mindless beast! You're making a mess! With a swift kick in the rump, you boot the goat through the front door. When did this place get so cluttered? I could have sworn I swept the hearth just yesterday. First things first, my old grimoire must be around here somewhere. New chapter, first things first. So, she kind of reminds me a little bit of, Baba Yaga. She's more like Baba Yaga than, Zeniba. Or you, Baba. Aha, here it is. It's lighter than I recall. Your grimoire contains all of your craftable recipes. You can open it at any time by pressing X. Okay, so Mending Poultice, a speckled herbal paste that heals aches and pains, heals depleted hearts. There's an inventory, a map, and a journal. All my recipes are missing. That damnable creature has chewed up all the pages of my book. Where's my belt? I'll need it to carry my things if I'm to go confront the beast. I must have left it in that trunk over there. Oof, my poor back. How long was I napping for? A good dose of medicine ought to soothe these aching bones before I head outside. At least I still have the recipe for my mending poultice. Okay, so I need, let's see, 2 forest herbs and 1 hag shrew. So, forest herb and one hag shroom. And there's another hag shroom. And there's the other forest herb. And let's see, what's over here? Looks like there's something... Okay, so... Alright, so I need to craft a mending poultice. I've got the 2 herbs and the 1 mushroom, so I'm gonna craft that. Right, and use the mending poultice to heal. There we go. Now it's time for us to go outside. Definitely liking the music so far. It's very interesting. You step outside into a humid marsh and immediately stub your toe on a twisted root. Ouch. Close your eyes for a wink, and the next thing you know, the whole yard's gone to the weeds. Somewhere in the distance, you can hear braying through the dense bramble. Where'd that cross-eyed Billy get to? He could at least put those gnashers to good use on this lawn. Okay, so let's open our map. Okay, so there's the Hag's Grotto. There's the goat. He beckons without fingers. Alright, so now we have to find the goat. Some shears will cut these clean. Some sort of an altar. Goaty McGoatface. Is that all you've got to say for yourself? The goat coughs up a disgusting hairball. Ah, yes, hello. Hello, can you hear me now? Apologies, it's been so long since I've used a mortal vessel. Yuck, there's dirt in its mouth. Pwah, pwah. You can talk. Of course I can talk. Has your mind become so filled with cobwebs that you've forgotten your old friend? You wound me, madame. It's good to see you up and about. I was beginning to wonder if you'd ever awaken, though I suppose time flows strangely in this place. Anyway, I've come to collect. Do you have the amount we agreed upon? Amount? Amount of what? Oh dear, if you really don't remember, we should go over the contract details again. Down there. The goat nods its head towards the ancient stone gateway looming nearby. And just how am I supposed to get through that solid rock? You're the one who sealed it last. Take a closer look and I'm sure it will come back to you. Open your witch's eye with light to inspect objects and creatures and discover their weaknesses. Standing stone wrapped with enchanted engravings. Weaknesses: unyielding power, unveiling power. Don't underestimate your senses, my dear. You may be old, but you can see things that others cannot. Hidden weaknesses lying below the surface. Ah, I can see it now. There are shallow runes etched onto the surface of the stone, but they are too faint for me to read. A powder of unveiling ought to do the trick. If you hadn't made a snack of my book, I wouldn't have to retranscribe my recipes. I shall not be held liable for any losses or inconveniences incurred as the result of abyssal possession. By inspecting objects and creatures, you can learn new recipes to craft in your grimoire. Okay, so I have a recipe for an look. Okay, so an unveiling powder, and looks like I have all of the materials I need. So I will craft that now. And we will sprinkle that near the shrine door. Okay. There we go. You smear a handful of the glowing powder onto the runes of the doorway. A cool blue light emanates from the glyphs and envelops the entrance in its aura. You squint, attempting to discern the meaning of the letters. They appear to be in some obscure runic alphabet. What gibberish is this? It looks like it was carved by a frightened hen. It must be written in the umbral tongue. Allow me to translate. The goat steps up to the doorway and pauses. Well, what does it say? The goat swings its shaggy head towards you. Dark, matted wool obscures the creature's beady eyes. I cannot see. Unbelievable. What help are you then? I didn't come here to help, I came to collect. Now do something about this mop of hair, would you? Fine. I think I have some rusty old shears down in the garden. Alright, so now we have to find the shears. Okay, and now I have to use the shears on the goat. But I think there's also something I can use my shears on too. Tangled ruin. These old stones are highly wrapped in innumerable vines. Okay, so I can't snip them. I just know that they have a weakness. So let's give the goat a haircut. With much protesting and a nipped ear, you shear away clumps of dirty hair from the goat's sides. Ah, much better. Oh my! Were you always this grotesque, or is my memory failing me as well? Watch your tongue, or I'll give it a good snip too. Now you can read. Can you read the runes or not? Yes, ahem. A space beneath, she sleeps alone. Tokens given up to the unknown. Fires of 4 shall unroot the stone. Braziers burn and await the crone. Crone? Who's it calling a crone? And what are these tokens I'm about to burn? Perhaps you ought to take a closer look at those braziers. Okay. Alright, so shiny stone, dog hair, bird feather, frog slime, and a shiny stone? I don't suppose you swallowed up any of those things while I was asleep? I don't think so, but feel free to sift through this creature's leavings if you want to be completely sure. However, there's a whole world outside this little swamp, you know. See that gateway over there? The one with the lovely green flame? The goat motions to the far side of your yard. I guess a brisk walk in the woods would do these creaky joints some good. Too much time indoors is bad for the humors. Okay, so we will need to clear the way to the forest, and we will gather ingredients for the braziers. Alright. Snipping and tearing. Your shears make short work of the branch. Alright, let's go. I'm really liking the music so far. You cut your way through the remaining vines and suddenly step onto a cold stone dais. Time seems to flow backwards, or maybe it speeds forwards. An oppressive, star-filled void stretches as far as you can see. Though there is no wind or sound in this void, a warm fall breeze and the chirping of birds seizes your attention. A doorway. Okay, so it looks like... Oh, so this must be the hub world. There's different places. Hard to see. So it looks like there's a few places that I can go to, but it looks like this is the only one that's open right now. I'm really glad it doesn't seem to be dropping as many frames as it was the other night. Okay, so a hatchet might break this apart. Oh, it's a little squirrel. A simple trap is what I need. Aye, you there. Give me a hand, would you? With what? You seem to have everything under control. These stumps aren't going anywhere. My darn useless son was supposed to help me, but he's wandered off again. Probably to go bother frogs and eat bugs or some such nonsense. Anyway, I need help clearing away some of these dead logs. It's late in the season and the wood has started to rot. Just be careful of the purple mushrooms that sometimes grow inside. They'll make you powerful sleepy if you breathe in the spores. As much as I do love poisonous fungi, I'm not much of a lumberjack. Nonsense! Anyone can experience the joys of splitting a fine stump. Here, my boy won't be missing his hatchet. The woodsman spins a sharp-looking hatchet in his hands and thrusts the handle at you. It's a fairy. Too quick for hands alone. Ash pie. I appreciate how all of the things that you can interact with have little sparks going off of them, so you know what to pick up. ragamuffin. Oi, lady, what's with that great stinking palm on your head? I would ask the same about all those stinking frogs in your trousers. Aw, you're just jealous. The boy fumbles between trying to wrangle all his frogs and swiping ineffectually at wayward fireflies with a shoddy-looking bug net. Juggling a little more than you can handle, eh? What exactly are you hoping to accomplish, flailing about like that? Are you daft? Me frogs are hungry, so I go to catch some of these fireflies to feed 'em. He takes another wild swing, missing his target entirely. Why don't you let me take a few of those frogs off your heads for a moment? That would let you swing that net properly. Oh, I see how it is. You're after me precious prizes. Well, how about I give you the net and you catch me some fireflies? Then maybe I'll think about trading you one of my froggies. The boy waggles the net in your face. Oh, I got some fairy dust. Changeling root. And his enthusiasm for catching frogs is not tempered by his limited ability to hold them. Well, these oppas aren't going to stick around with empty bellies. The faster you catch those fireflies, the faster we can eat. The frogs can eat. The boy holds out an empty jar with holes poked in it. The boy shakes the jar, rattling the captured insects like pennies in a piggy. Oh, these are nice and juicy. The lads are gonna feast tonight. Now, about our deal, you agreed to trade me one of your pets there. Ha ha ha! What deal? I don't remember making no deal. A frog squirms out of the boy's overalls and plops down by his feet with a wet slap. Dang it, there goes Slippery Pete. He takes a clumsy swipe at the amphibian, but the creature squeezes out of his grasp and bounces into the underbrush. Oh, shucks. I never liked him anyways. If you can catch him, he's all yours. And now I have a frog. Around on her heels so quickly she nearly hits you with her spyglass. Ah, you startled me. Can't you see I'm busy with my scientific research? Research? What is it you're looking for with that contraption? Why, the famed indigo-tufted forest lark. They're said to be native to this forest and this forest only. Have you seen one, perchance? You glance upwards at the small blue bird perched atop the oblivious woman's hat. I haven't. Sorry. A shame. Well, it's never too late to open one's eyes to the wonders of the natural world. You never know what you'll discover. She points at a nearby woodland critter stuffing its cheeks with seeds. Take that squirrel, for example. Spend a few moments watching its behavior, and you'll learn everything you need to know about it. Observation is key. Now, if you don't mind, I wouldn't want to miss making an exciting new discovery. The bluebird glances vacantly at you before pooping on the brim of the woman's hat. Geez, I don't know about this. You tap the man's shoulder and he nearly tumbles headfirst into the well. Ah! What's the matter with you? I could have fallen in. Then perhaps you shouldn't be leaning over the edge like some wobbly storm. What's so interesting down this well anyways? Well, my grandpappy used to tell me that people drop all sorts of treasure down there, just waiting for someone to dig it up. Got myself a trowel and thought I'd give it a go. But the rope's out and it looks awful dark and damp. I get goosebumps just thinking about all the ghoulies that might be lurking down there in the shadows. Ever consider that those ghoulies might get goosebumps thinking about you lurking up here in the sunlight? No, not really. Not sure if that makes me feel any better about them, actually. Maybe the business of treasure hunting isn't for me after all. Here, why don't you take my trowel? I don't think I'll be needing it. You can go down into the well and see those ghoulies yourself. He offers you a small trowel. It looks like it's never been used. This old well is deep and dark. You might be able to climb down into it, but the rope has long since rotted away. You toss a length of strong, homemade rope down into the darkness. It seems like it should support you without much fuss. Possesses an energy for outpacing its tranquil home. Far outpacing its tranquil home. Alright, it looks like I've gotten some more... Looks like I've gotten some more recipes. Evening, ma'am. Come to check on the pottery? I'm afraid I just fired the kilns up, so they'll be a while still. Pottery? Bah. I was just admiring that fine canine over there. You point to a scraggly-looking mutt patrolling the yard. May I give her a petting? Oh, you can try, but I wouldn't if you value your fingers. She's a touch bitey today and doesn't much like people going near the ovens. I have a way with animals. Surely I can find something to calm her down. Alright, so it looks like... Let's take a look at our grimoire. So we have a few new spells. We have a spell for an empty jar. We have a... Okay, so the Hearthseed is a go-home spell. We have a Snap Trap, which is wickerwork and an impi nut. And then we have a soporific morsel, a warm gobbet of animal flesh soaked with sleeping magic, useful against dogs. Okay, so we have some reagents, wickerwork, a widget woven, a good frame to start building around, and a soporific potion. This draft will send whoever it drinks into a deep sleep. However, it tastes horrible, so mix it with something delicious. Alright, so... let's see, I think what we should do is... we should try making a snap trap for the squirrel. Right, so we've made ourselves a snap trap. Whoop. Rodent lard, meaty morsel. Alright, so now we have the ability to make a soporific morsel, but the first thing we need is we need water. So let's see here if there's anything else that we can gather up around here. Is packed. I'll need a trowel. Ah, too slippery. I'll need a net. Okay, so able to dig some clay. Got a shiny stone. Ooh, what in here? Locked. I could collect some water from the shop. Well, let's see. Empty jar. Okay, so empty jar, we need some clay and a campfire ember. But we'll have to go back up to find the campfire ember. Darkened nook. A cozy burrow for a creature who prefers to be left alone. Freshwater spring. Clay deposit. Alright, so we got some clay. So now we need to go back up to the surface and grab some of those campfire ashes. Also, we're going to need to catch a bird. So let's do that. Alright, we got ourselves the bird feather. So now the next thing that we need is we need to dig some embers from that campfire. So we need to go back to the woodcutter. Image to flatter the self-proclaimed ruler of this region, commissioned by him, of course, and promptly forgotten. A sun sprite! Now that was something that I wasn't expecting to see, but I'm very happy to see. Alright, so now we have the... Now we have the ability to gather water. So we'll go back down into the well. Let's gather some water. Alright, so we've got some water. And now we need to make the sleepy meat. Alright, so now we have the sleepy meat for the doggy. Ouch! Hey, doggy. Eat the sleepy meat, please. Frog slime, blue feather, shiny stone, and dog hair. That's all I need for those braziers. I should head back home now. other down into a large basin like a magnet. It bursts into a bright flash of light as cold flames engulf its essence. The brazier awaits an offering. The dog hairs take a moment to fall from your fingers, fluttering down into the basin one by one. The fur bristles into foul-smelling coils before erupting into a cold green flame. The brazier awaits an offering. You gently squeeze the globs of wet slime from your satchel into the basin. The mucus bubbles and pops before cold flames reduce it to a fine, odorless ash. The brazier awaits an offering. You drop the stone into the basin with a resounding chiming sound. Fractures trace across the pebble before it cracks open, and a cold green light swallows it within its flames. The emerald flames of the braziers play strange shadows over the stone doorway. You watch as fingers of shadow crawl up the rock face and crack open the solid granite like stale bread. The stone crumbles away into darkness, revealing a yawning stairway descending down into the cold earth. After you, madame. Let me make myself a healing spell. There we go. What is this place? Oh my. A beautiful young woman seems to be fast asleep inside a delicate glass coffin. Encased inside a gilded crystal coffin lies the body of a young woman. Though she sleeps in an enchanted slumber, her ageless features express a deep sadness. The sound of cloven hooves echo against the marble floor as the goat comes to your side. Quite something, isn't she? Do you remember bringing her to me? I brought her to you. Why? Who is she? I haven't the faintest idea. All I know is you brought her lifeless form to my doorstep and begged me to save her soul. Save her from what? And why is she asleep? Why, from the 12 wicked souls whom you said wronged her in life. Villains who deceived her and cheated her and broke her spirit. And as we agreed, here she will sleep until our contract is fulfilled. Until you bring me those 12 wicked souls. What? I remember no such contract. Our pact is binding regardless of what you do or do not remember. At the goat's words, you feel something hard and dark locked away in the depths of your heart. It speaks the truth. And just why should I do your bidding seems like a lot of bothersome trouble to me. What do I care about some sleeping beauty? Right, I am going to be right back. And it'll just be a couple seconds. Just need to make a quick pit stop. 12 souls, and I will release the sleeping maiden from her slumber. Our agreement will be fulfilled. Who knows? In time you may even remember why you brought her to me in the first place. Or you can simply return to the comfort of your little hovel, where you will waste away until the weeds grow so thick that not even your shears will be able to cut you free. And your mind will stay as empty as that grimoire of yours. But it is a big decision to make so hastily. Why not? Don't you sleep on it? A heavy weight fills your marrow. Your eyelids flutter, barely able to stay open. What have you done to me? I can't stay awake. So now it looks like we've got our story. Good morning. I trust you've made up your mind. Will you collect the souls I've asked for, or would you prefer to stay stuck in this festering swamp? All right. No need to get your horns in a twist. I'll do as you ask. You haven't given me much choice. Splendid. As it happens, I can already sense the first 4 souls we seek. 2 are in the forest, another in the swamp to the north, and the last in the fields to the south. Could you be more specific? Near a shapely stump, perhaps inside a tree with a face? By an overgrown mushroom grove? What do I look like, a compass? Go out there and look for yourself. The Sleeping Maiden. Alright, so... Alright, so now we have to collect 4 souls for the goat, the bear in the forest, the ox in the fields, the leech in the swamp, and the snake in the forest. Alright, so I guess we just have to go back through that portal and into the dark place. Alright, so what have we here? We have one portal currently open. Doesn't look like any of the other ones are accessible. So let's go to the forest. We need to find the snake and the bear. where you are. Yeah, no one but soldiers are allowed into the lakeshore camp, and you don't look like no soldier. Yeah, that's not a standard issue helmet. I just came to visit my, son? I don't think so. The captain said no visitors, so buzz off. Yeah, unless you're the quartermaster, you ain't getting in. Hey, where is that nervous wreck anyway? He ought to be back with that shipment of honey by now. The bear. Okay, so we have to find the quartermaster in the forest in order to find the bear. So it looks like we're up against a battlefield. Quartermaster. I wonder if it's that guy at the wishing well. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. So I guess he's just a regular dude then. Fairy toad, a dryad, pixie dust, bomb. Ouch! Okay, so we got a new tinder box. What's this? A dreadful doll, useful against goblins and bandits. Hardly see what's here at all. What a pretty tree. You approach a young woman weeping sorrowfully into her palms. She catches her breath for a moment and looks out longingly over the placid lake. Oh, my sweet songbird, why have you forsaken me to a life devoid of your love? Tears well up in her eyes as she buries her face once again. You consider leaving this melodrama well enough alone, but something about the poor girl reminds you of the maiden slumbering under your house. You draw out a tattered handkerchief and offer it to the maiden. There, dry your eyes, my child, and tell old Granny what the matter is. Oh, thank you, you're very kind. She takes the cloth and daintily dabs the corners of her eyes. Swallowing the last of her sobs, she composes herself before sighing wistfully. It's my beloved, such a sweet and romantic man with the voice of a meadowlark. I get it. He dumped you. Well, don't worry, there's plenty of other frogs in the swamp. Well, what? No, he loves me, and I him. Though our family outside my balcony every night. One night we both vowed to escape and meet by this lake. Her lip quivers. I waited and waited under the waning moon, even past the morning sun, but he still didn't reveal himself. Tough break. Maybe he just wasn't that into you? The woman snaps at you with sudden vitriol. He would never abandon me. We're destined to be together. She slips back into a melancholic gaze out over the lake. Even now I can still hear the beautiful melody of his lute coming from across the water. Over the dull sounds of lapping waves and quacking waterfowl, faint notes of some faraway stringed instrument whisper through the reeds. Oh, I hear it too. Maybe you aren't just mad in love. It's coming from somewhere in the middle of the lake. He's out there somewhere, I just know it. She crumples into another dramatic bout excuse me, of inconsolable tears. Now, I'm sure it's just some echo bouncing off the shore. I'll go find where this tardy bard of yours has run off to. The snake. Seems strongest on this shore, but even here you can't quite place the source. It seems to be emanating from the half-sunken ruin poking out of the lake's waters. Maybe that fool bard's hiding way out there? Bah, but I swim as well as hens fly. Suddenly, some unseen voice chitters mockingly into your ear. Oh, hee, that musical man you'll never see. You spin around, but no one's there, just a nattering laughter bouncing on the wind. Who's there? Show yourself, spirit. A humble basin. An elusive pixie. A catching net and an unveiling powder. Do I have some? Snap your hand around the elusive creature and squeeze.
Hack! Let me go, you knobbly pot! You're crushing the life out of me!
You trifling little pest, what do you know about this music?
Music? What music? Alls I hear is the slapping waves and the peeping birdies. Your wrinkly old ears must be full of bugs.
Don't you play smart with me. I'll pop off your head like a daisy.
Ooh, you mean that music? It's the sound of the snake's traveling circus. I thought everyone knew that. Circus stays still, but the door's the thing that travels, you see? And right now the door's out on that lake, but you'll never get in.
You give the wretched sprite a good shake, and a shower of glittering dust sheds off its wings. Tell me how to cross the lake, or I'll make a necklace from your teeth.
Ack, only fey folk can show the way. Dirty fairies built a bridge. Keep all you big folk out unless the snake invites them in.
You're a fairy, aren't you? Where's this bridge?
Ha! We're a pixie, not one of those flamby-pamby mushroom herders. Besides, the bridge is invisible to big stompers like you.
The creature peers over your shoulder and waves its tiny arms.
Oh look, there's a fairy now. Why don't you ask her?
You turn to look, but in your moment of distraction, the pixie sinks its sharp teeth into your finger. Ouch! You sneaky little blighter! Springing free from your grasp, the slippery monster chitters a laugh and vanishes in a cloud of smoke. You look down at your dust-covered hand. Fairy or not, this bridge must be around here somewhere. ashes and cattails. You find a strangely carved pedestal. It might be mistaken for a bird bath if you didn't know any better. As you run your finger around the edge of the bowl, the remaining pixie dust on your hand flakes off, as if drawn in by an invisible force. Crude pictographs appear on the surface of the basin. They depict a coiled snake presiding at the center of some kind of festival. Directions on how to reveal the bridge are carved on the outside. You see symbols resembling fey dust, dancing fireflies, and bird feathers. So I need, let's see, I need more fireflies and more feathers. So let's see. Oh, hello there. Sorry, I think I managed to get most of this debris off the road. Looks like you've made a fine wreck. What on earth happened to your cart? Yes, well, you see, I was sent on a very important mission by order of my captain, the bear. The bear, you say? What sort of mission? It's my job to make sure the lakeshore camp is well stocked with provisions, but most importantly, a steady supply of honey for the bear's favorite need. I was just on my way back from the apiary with a cart full when a deer or something darted out of nowhere. Jostled my poor mule so bad that she broke her bridle and ran off. My own heart nearly leapt out of my ribcage. Plied the darn cart right into the ditch, she did. Now every barrel is smashed, and I can't bring myself to report back empty-handed. The bear will have my guts for garters, I'm sure of it. This bear sounds like quite a brute. Oh, you don't know the half of it. If he doesn't get his honey mead, heads will roll. Maybe you could lend me a hand? I can't very well put this broken cart back together. No, nothing like that. But could you take a message to the sergeant of the Lakeshore camp? He's a reasonable fellow. Let him know what happened, and maybe he can get me out of this bind. You can get to the Lakeshore camp if you follow the road to the northwest of here. I need to stay with the cart and assess the damages. Oh dear. Good thing that our witch friend seems to have a very large inventory. Alright, we need... Okay, we need one more... No, 2 more feathers. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the Lakeshore camp and talk to the quartermaster's men. Hey, where'd you think you're going? Yeah, no one but us soldiers are allowed inside the Lakeshore camp. Get out of my way. I have urgent news of your quartermaster. I need to speak with your sergeant. Urgent? Only thing that's urgent is the line for the latrine or if the captain hasn't had his drink. That's right, Captain Bear is in a right foul mood. You can't come in unless you want a good thrashing. The guard almost has to shout over the clattering din coming from inside the camp. You heard him. It's dangerous in there. Wouldn't have the heart to let a frail old granny like you near that beast. One guard turns to the other with a conspiratorial shrug. Yeah, but who are we to say what's good for her health? Oh, yeah, you're right. We might be convinced to look the other way if we was fairly compensated. Right, fairly compensated, of course. We'd be sticking our necks out after all. The guards hold out their hands expectantly, like children begging for candy. Well, guess what I have? You carefully press 3 heavy gold coins into the palm of the waiting man. There, I expect you two can divide them evenly amongst yourselves. Right, 1 for you and 2 for me. What? You mean 2 for me and 1 for you? I'm the one who does all the real guarding around here. You still owe me for that game of dice you lost. You cheated me. Give me them coins. The 2 guards fall into fisticuffs and roll into the bushes, leaving the gate to the camp wide open. Unconscious soldiers. More unconscious soldiers. The bear. A large, ferocious soldier with many a self-aggrandizing story to tell. As you cautiously approach, the bear drains the last of his enormous tankard and smashes it against the head of a nearby soldier, knocking the hapless man to the ground. And then I walloped him just like that. So next time I catch any of you cowards turning tail, I'll skewer you like a fish and leave your guts for the gulls. Suddenly noticing that his drink has gone dry, the bear bellows to the skies. More mead, you yellow-bellied worms! More drink! Bring me my delicious honey mead! The soldiers taking cover nearby exchange nervous glances at each other, none wanting to confront the bear. There is no more honey mead. The bear wipes a strand of drool from his sagging lips and his bleary eyes slowly focus on you. A mocking smirk splits his face as he waves at you with his great spiked mace. Say, now that's a funny-looking helmet soldier. I ever tell you the time I crushed the bucket-headed barbarians of the Western Mountains? You decide that now is a good time to leave the bear to his ramblings rather than make yourself an unfortunate prop in his war stories. The bear kicks an empty tankard at you as you retreat back into the camp. That's right, go get me more meat, you good-for-nothing sluggard. hurried orders at whoever will listen, but most of the camp's soldiers are busy cowering or knocked out cold. Man the gates! You, over there! Secure the perimeter! We just need to hold out a little longer. Sir, we're running out of men! Where's that damn shipment of honey? You step over an unconscious footman to address the man in charge. I might be able to answer that question. Who let this old bat into the camp? I found your quartermaster. He's having a bit of cart trouble on the road. I'm afraid your shipment isn't going to get here anytime soon. What? Oh, curse my rusty breeches. Without that honey and other supplies, we can't make the honey mead. The bear's gonna flatten the whole camp when he finds out. The camp looks half flattened already. What's all this ruckus about? Well, the bear is the greatest warrior there ever was, which is grand and all when we're fighting the enemy. But once we set up camp, he likes to use us poor sods as playthings to reenact his conquests. And the only thing the bear loves as much as fighting is drinking. Guzzles up so much honey mead we have to brew it right here in the camp just to keep up. He points to a squat-looking device tucked near some tents, a portable brewery. Without that shipment of ingredients, I don't see how we can ever calm the bear down. He'll smash us all into paste before the sun sets. Let me take a look at this brewery of yours. If the bear is so in love with brawling and boozing, then perhaps it's about time he received a dose of his own medicine. You inspect the brass contraption. A tank here, a hopper there. The bitter smell of alcohol is infused into the well-worn metal. Despite the needlessly complicated dials and tubing, at the end of the day, the brewery is really just a fancy cauldron. This seems simple enough. I should be able to concoct just the potion for your troubles. The rattled sergeant shrugs his shoulders at you. Sure, if you think it'll help, but you'll need to fuel the darn thing first. Our supplies are a mess, so you'll have to figure it out on your own. You open up the brewery to inspect its complicated innards. Okay, so I need a cinder box, a jar of 5 jars of water, and twigs. Alright, so let's see if we can do that. We'll do the cinder box. We'll do some more jars. Get some water. Okay, so we just have to grab some water. Ouch! Uh-oh. dust into the bowl and it settles evenly to its inside surface. Directions on how to reveal the bridge are carved on the outside. Each of the fireflies lights upon the edge of the bowl, stepping delicately until they are evenly spaced. Placed into the basin, the feathers arrange themselves into perfect triangular symmetry. The basin begins to glow a soft yellow as the fireflies rise from the muck within. They begin to dance up and down, drawing circles high above the bowl. Glitter rains down gently, shimmering as it catches rays of sunlight. Slowly, the particles trace the form of a bridge leading from the edge of the water to the center of the lake. You tentatively test the strength of the spectral walkway, and find that it is strong as if it were made of solid stone. Stop by the well to get water. Go back to the bear's camp. You open up the brewery to inspect its complicated innards. You snap kindling into pieces and scatter it into the bottom compartment of the brewery. Should be fuel enough for the job. With the high heat of a cinder box, you set the stone chamber of the brewery alight. It will bring the tank to a rolling boil. With a hiss of steam and the sound of boiling water, the rattling brewery is ready for the next step in the process. Of course, I'll need honey for the mead. That quartermaster said he was coming back from the apiary in the fields, so I'd best try there. Then I'll need a proper magical binder and a token of the bear to seal the spell. Something in this camp ought to do the trick. The frothing basin of the brewery stands ready for the right ingredients. So we need honey, a torn teddy bear, and a metamorphosis elixir. Through the open tent flap, you catch a glimpse of pillaged trinkets and treasures scattered about the spacious interior. You surmise that one of these precious objects might contain enough magical essence to use as a token of the bear. Your eyes have only a moment to linger upon the giant fur-lined bed before a hand pulls the door flap shut. The sergeant gives you a disapproving glare as he ushers you away. Hey, you can't go in there. This is the bear's personal tent. You know the kind of hell that would break loose if he finds out someone's been snooping. Don't worry, I'll be careful. It seems like your men are keeping him distracted anyway. You glance over at the bear as he tosses aside a soldier like a sack of potatoes. No, why, no, how? If you think this is bad, just wait until he finds out there's no more honey meat. If you're so afraid of that stomping brute, why don't you just slip away into the night? Surely it would prolong your life a little. And abandon all my friends? We still just gotta stick together. It's our only chance. If only there was some way to stand up to the bear. A thought seems to cross the sergeant's mind as he notices the potions and baubles hanging about your belt. Say, you're good with magical doodads in one sense, right? What if you made me some sort of protective charm or talisman? Then I could maybe have a chance against that monster without getting my head shoved in. If I make you a protective talisman, will you let me into this tent? I suppose I wouldn't have much to worry about if you did. Okay, so now we have a protective talisman. So let's see. Alright, so for protective talisman, we need a wicked gemstone, a magic paste, and wicked. So here's the wicked gemstone. And here's the metamorphosis elixir. So it looks like right now, let's see what the snake is like. Would like to meet you. Oh, very nice. Distant strong man. Bunch of villagers with 1,000-yard stares. People really like these party tricks. Dizzy Wizard. Excuse me. Draped in glittering jewelry, the serpent stares intently into a crystal ball as you approach. Welcome, my dear, welcome. I saw that you would come here in search of answers. I just came here in search of a bard. That's him outside, right? With the loot? The minstrel? Yes. He is working off a debt to me. All those folk out there seem a touch out. What did you do to them? They're all humble folk looking for something, just as you are. I am here to provide them with my services in exchange for a bit of work. So what are you, some sort of carnival wizard? You're making quite the racket in my forest. A wizard? No, no, no. I am a seer, a scryer of the hidden mists, a foreteller of fortunes, and keeper of secrets. Fancy titles you've given yourself. Sounds like you're nothing but a used cart salesman peddling your wares to the gullible. Ah, a skeptic. Step closer and let the crystal ball reveal its mysteries. The snake's voice drops low and seems to fill the tent with a heavy weight. I am a helper of sorts, an unraveler of knots. I make the forgotten remembered. You feel the scaly touch of slithering coils wind around you, but are powerless to move. And you have forgotten much. The snake's eyes swirl in a pattern you've never seen. Imperceptible colors collapse into themselves and fracture into kaleidoscopic mosaics against the canvas walls. A voice speaks from far away. It takes you a moment to realize that it's your own. I have forgotten so much. Let me help you find your answers. The serpent's coils slowly squeeze the consciousness out of you. Oh boy, we've got a cough from Jungle Book situation here. With a desperate push of willpower, you blink away from the snake's hypnotic gaze. Wait! Get off me, you worm! You wiggle your body like a sack of loose twigs. Despite your protesting bones, you manage to squirm free and tumble backwards out of the tent. When your eyes open, you find yourself back outside the snake's tent. You pick yourself up from the ground and dust off your shoulders. Oof. I guess that sly serpent has some tricks up his sleeve. I'd better come up with a plan for next time you go in there. The festival patrons seem confused after your tussle with the snake, as if the spell over them was momentarily shaken. The crowds disperse as they fumble about in haste. Now's my chance to get a word in with that bard. Maybe I can get him out of this mess. Strumming his lute, the strapping young man has a faraway look in his eyes. Is it wistfulness, nostalgia, or even hypnosis? Wander I may, but ne'er away from sheath I fall my lover. To my chagrin I stumbled in and met the gaze of another. Curious I stared, I was not prepared, and this was my mistake. A binding gaze, now I lift my gaze in the service of the snake. Cry not for me, for there is she that might still see me safe. My spirits they lift as she holds me. From before I was enslaved. A mirror but shattered, its pieces have scattered, and we may be set free. Down from wishing glow, straight into the sword's and hiding within the pixie's tree. What song is about a broken lemon you gave to that weeping lady? Speak plainly, you poor old fool. No matter what you do, the poor musician barely seems to realize you're there. He just keeps strumming this lute and humming his movement. Fuck, maybe that lovesick whistle will know what he's all about. Alright, so managed to narrowly escape from the snake. Oh, still my beating heart. Have you had any news about my dear sweet love? I found him at the carnival, but he's been mesmerized by the snake. Unless I can break the spell, no one in that carnival can leave. The snake? Say it isn't so. I've heard how he grants wishes, but only for a terrible price. Why would my love be so desperate as to consort with that charlatan? I haven't a clue, but he's stuck deep. The only thing I managed to get out of him was something about a mirror. Do you know anything about that? A mirror? Oh yes, it was the first gift he ever gave me. From inside her bodice, she produces a small cracked handpan. But one night, it slipped from my balcony and shattered on the cobblestones. I tried to piece it back together, but I could never find the last 3 shards. His song mentioned something about a wishing well, a moonlit swamp, and a pixie tree. Keep that mirror close. I'll seek out the missing shards and return them to you. Oh, thank you. I should very much love to see it whole once again. Alright, so first we gotta go to the wishing well and find a shard in there. And then we have to go to the swamp and then the pixie tree. Here's the pixie tree. This gnarled tree is littered with countless trinkets and bits of trash, glued haphazardly together to form a glittering hive. You reach for a sharp piece of broken glass that could be the mirror shard, but pull your hand away at the last moment. 1,000 beady eyes peer out of the tree's knotholes. A familiar cackling voice floats above the others.
You again, Kettlehead. What do you want now?
I've come for that mirror shard. Hand it over and I won't have to strangle you again.
No way. We need shinies to keep gross fairy folk away. Best fairy repellent there is.
What? Since when are fairies afraid of shiny things?
Well, I don't see no fairies around, do you? But maybe we can work something out. Them smelly mushroom herders have been encroaching on our turf, see? They've been building those stupid little stone shrines of theirs, and worse yet, they've been hiring mercenaries to guard them. So we can't go anywhere near, but maybe a big stomper like you can take care of the problem for us.
And then you'll give me that shard?
Hey, if there ain't no fairies, we won't need no fairy repellent.
Okay, so we have to destroy the fairy shrines in the forest now. Feel sort of bad about doing it, but hey, nothing you can do. Oops. Gotta make ourselves another tinderbox. Oh, we need... Okay, we need to catch some more fireflies in order to do so. Huh? Wait, what? Okay, I can't move. Time to go home. I don't know how that happened, but hopefully this is... Yeah, there we go. I don't know how I got stuck like that, but at least I have that to get back to the hub world. Uh-oh. I should know better than to approach turkeys. Someone's here. Good day to you. See if I can get some milk. Upon closer inspection, this mountain of hay appears to have been deliberately woven into an intricate wickerwork structure. You carefully pluck a single piece of straw from its center, and the whole bundle begins to swirl and unravel until a gaping vortex opens before you. Whoa. Hefty gourd stands before you, wiping beads of dew off of his bumpy forehead. He tilts up the brim of his hat and greets you with what you interpret as a smile. Welcome to my farm, stranger. What brings you out here? Ah, we've got a raid! Matsu Quinox has raided us with 6 viewers. Thank you very much. Greetings, Matsu Quinox. How was your storytelling tonight? How's it growing, farmer? Oh, you know, not so bad. Trying my best to win the harvest competitions this year. Well, you look to be making good progress. I'm sure you'll be a shoo-in for the blue ribbon. You would think so, wouldn't you? But every year, without fail, that sour ox takes the prize. No matter how hard I work, I can't seem to outgrow his crops. Careful now. You're beginning to sound like a sore loser. Yeah. Not sore loser, I just think it's quite suspicious, don't you? Last year, the ox and his family brewed the largest corn cobs I've ever seen. I was only barely able to get second place because of my own little helpers. He motions to animated turnips and potatoes busy with menial farm work. But this year, his crops are larger than ever before. Even though his family is nowhere to be seen, it doesn't make any sense to me. He's working the fields all by himself. What happened to his family? That's the fishy part. No one knows. They's just disappeared one day, and the ox has said nothing. That does sound suspicious. Perhaps I'll go and ask him myself. Yeah, his farm is down to the southwest. You can't miss it. I must get back to work. Veggies won't grow themselves, you know. And now, we have another quest, the ox. Right, so, I'm going to give you all raiders, a little, background. So this game is called Wytchwood. We are a witch, and we have been given a quest. There is a young woman who is asleep in a shrine underneath our property, and we have been tasked by a goat to collect 12 souls from the ones that have wronged her. And that way, once those 12 souls are collected and dealt with, the young woman will be able to wake up. Now, the thing is that our witch friend does not remember making this deal with the goat. So what she does is that she goes around to different parts of the forest, and she uses ingredients that she gathers to make reagents and spells in order to solve puzzles. So right now, we've found out about the bear and the ox and the snake. Can't be stopped unless I snag it first. Also, you have to be very careful because there's bandits, there's turkeys, there's bad dogs. There's all sorts of bad stuff that is out there. Let's see what's in here. It's another portal back to the hub world. Alright, head back. Now, one thing that we're doing right now is, well, it looks like we need to speak with the ox, so we're going to go down south. Excuse me. You peer through the hedgerow and see a ramshackle encampment strewn with plunder. Cut purses and brigands pick their nails with dangerous-looking daggers. I got nothing to gain from this nest of knaves. Better make myself scarce before they see me. You scamper back to the safety of the road. Good day to you. Fairy circle. Fey energies converge on the spot, but to what end is unclear. Gnome, a natural tinkerer, but stubbornly refuses to read any instruction manuals. Well, where is the ox? There's the brigands' camp. And there's the ox's farm. This old pooch deserves a treat. Grab some materials. A scarecrow, just eerie, easy to see why crows don't like these. The ox. Sweat pours off of enormous shoulders, labor unending. Let's talk to you. Hey, this is private property. What are you doing trespassing on my land? Why, I just came to admire the glow of your crops, Master Ox. I heard you produce the most bountiful produce in the land. Huh, well, you heard right. I work day in and day out till my hands are raw and my back is broken, but you won't find a finer farm anywhere else. You're sure to take first prize at the Harvest Festival again. You and your family must be so proud. The ox spits on the tilled soil. Pah! Those lazy louds never understood the pride and joy of devoting oneself to the land. What good's a family that gripes about hard labor? We'd never won any of those competitions if it wasn't for my sacrifice. Where is your family, then? I can't help but notice you're working all by yourself. If you must know, those damnable bandits out by the South Bridge stormed into the place one night and stole them away. Bandits? You don't seem very concerned about getting them back. Ha! I'm better off. For all I know, they could have been already ransomed off for fertilizer. But if you're so worried, why don't you go talk to those bloody brigands yourself? Now get your big nose off my fields, or I'll toss you in the compost heap. Okay. Alright, so it looks like we have to go look at the bandits. That's gonna be fun. Alright, so we've only got a few minutes left, so give me one moment while I'll take a look and see who is streaming right now. Let's take a look at the bandit camp first. There are far too many for me to just sneak by. I'll have to find a way to incapacitate them. So, let's see. The weaknesses are a dreadful doll. So probably make a dreadful doll. A dreadful doll is grain. Oops. Grain, hopper legs, and a sewing kit. Now the sewing kit is a reagent, so So it's a reedy twine and a skeeter snoot. So we have to go to the swamp. But in any case, we're going to end things off for the evening, and I'm going to check to see who we can raid. Let me see how things load first of all. At least it auto-saves, that's good. I wish it would tell me when it was auto-saving. So, let's see. Alright, so we are going to raid. We are going to raid Tanuki Dan. He is playing Shovel Knight. And just wanted to let you know, everybody, I will not be streaming Saturday night because it is Elimination Chamber and I will be watching it with my friends. So the next stream will be next Monday night and we will be continuing Wytchwood. And all I can say is I hope you all have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. This has been Jewelry Jelly with Isabel, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.